Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tenax series presented by Harmony. My name is Sir Mickey, and I'm joined. This is for the first time in forever. Multitudes is on the desk, usually behind the camera, doing all the production, observing things. Hopped on the desk today. Thank you for filling in, man. Welcome to it. We got some banger teams. We got Hamster, Rave. I can't read my own handwriting. Hamster Rave Party going up against Skyline here. It's a best of three. Multitudes, how are you? Welcome to it.
I'm feeling pretty good. The sun's just about starting to rise on my side of the world, so I am ready to get some Valorant shows in front of ourselves. Bring the action to the viewers that are watching in front on their couches, right, with their partners, on TVs and on mobile phones. Bring some good old FPS action to your screens and lighten up their Wednesday evening for the majority of you folks over there. I'm excited for this right now, and I think we've got some banger games in front of us, Sir Mickey.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We got a best of three, like we said. We're starting off Skyline's pick. It's going to be Pearl with Hamster starting on defense, and then we're going to go into Lotus, and if need be for that third and final map, it'll be Haven. And it's kind of weird here, Multitudes. Hamster is going to be on defense on all three of these maps. But before we hop into this first one, it's going to be Pearl. Before we hop into it, into Agent Select, whatever we need to do to get in, before we do that, Multitudes, I want to discuss a simple layout for these teams in terms of composition, maybe some gameplay things. What can we be expecting from these two teams?
Yeah,
as we look at the rosters here.
As we look at the rosters, we've got some pretty big names that we've seen in the past right now. Skyline Dreamers rocking Cloudsy, Ellie, Gigi, Mushi, and Mads. We've seen Mushi, and Mads completely pal through some of the oppositions here. So I expect us to keep close eyes on some of those. Meanwhile, on the other side, Hamster Rave Party, Unfeel, Array, Colby, Liminal, and the player number 5 who joined at the very last moment, Reverie, taking that 5th spot. Hamster Rave Party with an absurd logo, might I just add, have some big shoes to fill. So they are going to bring one hell of a fight, I think, to the stage today.
Yeah, and you touched on it. We've seen Cloudsy and Mushi in the past, pretty nasty players, but mixed in with I believe, a new roster entirely. It's going to be a bit of a wild card to see those players in action, but we can go ahead and take a look at Mads and Arrays here. The assist, the kills, the KD itself, rounds played. I mean, it doesn't seem to be a massive difference between these two players, but we've learned our lesson here at 10X. Do not ever judge a book by its cover, because one of these two fades could come out of absolutely nowhere and give us some wild, triple ace in a row across 3 rounds, and it'll be something stupid like that, but you never know. But the KDs are very close in general. It's only an 11 point lead on Array's side, but I mean, all in all, very, very close stat-wise between these two players.
I completely agree. And I think what's going to be interesting is, stats aside, let's see how these fades want to take their place and help initiate, right? They may choose actually possibly the new agent, right? Sir Mickey, Teho, who I think, I believe the officials, I think the officials have just cleared Teho to be used in the Tenax series from this game onwards. So I'd be very, very excited to see how these teams abuse, because I think people are starting to really understand the value of Teho. They're on an individual level, not going to be spectacular, but on a combo wombo basis, holy, with the C's from a fade or like a Viper's snake bite, I think those go absolutely insane.
Absolutely, and I feel like something that I haven't seen get talked about a lot is Teho is essentially Breach and Brim combined. So to get kind of that initiator controller, I say Brim just because it's kind of a remote situation to place down those abilities, and then Breach, obviously, very similar kit in general. But there's definitely some differences, and I'm now you got me wanting to see a Teho. But as we load in here to Lotus, or excuse me, I'm sorry, my brain broke. We're not loading anywhere. We're taking a look at the map picks and bans on your screen now. It's going to be Pearl, like we said. Skyline's pick going to start off with Hamster on that defense. Hamster's going to go ahead and continue on that defense as we head into Lotus, a 3-site map, very popular. The last I mean, we haven't seen it the last few weeks, but in general, in the competitive pool, very popular map. And then, of course, like we always say, multitudes. You can't have a best of 3 without Haven in the mix. And again, it's going to be Hamster on defense for all 3 of these maps. So it's going to be interesting to say the least, especially with 2 of these maps being very attacking sided and Hamster starting on the opposite side.
I completely agree. I think this is going to be quite interesting to see. And you know, Pearl, to start things off, I actually really like Pearl from that perspective. I think it's a little bit like Ascent, but a bit modified. You know, Ascent is your classic CS map, and Pearl tends to be a map where it's actually quite shallow from the distance between CT and T. Spawns, those are very small, and so that mid space can be completely abused, which is very reminiscent of how players want to strategize with Ascent. A lot of those strats bring over to Pearl, and so I think playing around that mid round, those strats around mid Pearl, I think those are going to be very important for us to see how they abuse it, how they pull people around the extremities, and the compositions are going to be very, very important there as well, Mickey.
Oh yeah. I think you're absolutely right in terms of mid control. I mean, there are some maps, it may be Split or even Haven, that you can get away with controlling these sites without having total mid control. But when it comes to a map like Pearl, where there are very intricate routes that are integral to you holding these sites, you got to have that mid control. And I think we're going to see some controller mains really show off in that aspect. I'm hoping for an Astra. I love to see Astra on Pearl, but I mean, that. She's my favorite, dude. She's my favorite. Yeah? I love Astra. I love it. But I think in general, you know, we've had a couple nerfs here and there between agents and between these compositions. So I don't know if we're necessarily going to see the meta. But you really never know, especially with 2 wildcard teams like these where a handful of players, we recognize them. But speaking of those players, I think we are still waiting on a couple of them to get into the lobby. So we're just going to sit here and yap, and we're going to play time, as the kids say, and we're just going to have fun because that's what we're here to do. Again, Tenax series, it's week number 3. Yeah, week number 3. I had to do the math. Wait, no, week number 2.
Week number 2. This is the 4th day. The third day.
This is day 3. Day. And I've casted everything since then. You would think my brain would be in line with the rest of me, but nah, we're good. But it's week number 2, matchup number 3. We are going to be live tomorrow at, I believe, 7 Eastern with another best of 3. Zero Fight will be joining me for that one, so be sure to turn notifications on for the Twitch and the Twitter, because we're live on Twitter, because that's a thing.
That's right. That's a thing.
Want to check that out? I mean, yeah, I legitimately had no idea you could go live on Twitter until like a month ago, and I think Shroud or somebody, and I was
called X, Mickey. All right, get with it. All right.
Nope.
Muskie has new plans for us.
When I type Twitter into my phone, it still brings up the app. It's updating everything, got a new logo and everything. But when I type Twitter, it shows up. All right?
There's that southern accent kicking in right there.
Listen. Oh, man. Tonight's going to be a show, man.
I believe the term you used the previous game was ADHD stupidity. I think we're both kind of going to bring this to the table in a little bit. Just a smidge.
Storm. Oh, it's going to be great.
The spectrum of everything in between as well. Holy.
Man.
And I think we're just about to get there, Mickey. I think we're moving straight into it. All the players are in the lobby, in the server, and we're going straight into Pearl. We have Hamster, Rave Party on the defense, and Skyline Dreamers running that attack side. Let's see what these players have cooking ahead of us.
And we might be getting a Tejo here.
Ooh.
Possibly Colby hovering, might just be teasing us. You know, again, Colby, my goodness, Tejo is still very new to the game. I don't think Colby's new. Yeah, Colby's going to go ahead and opt off of that Tejo. But Tejo is still a very new agent, so you do still have a lot of teams trying to figure out how exactly to play with his kit. So I'm not totally surprised. You know, I would be absolutely pleased to see a Tejo tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if we end up not seeing a Tejo this evening.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. You never know.
It's a bit of a shame, but I think players will take a little bit of time to ease their way into the new Colombian agent. But for now, you see Skyline Dreamers lock basically themselves straight in double duelist with our goated Astra coming live as well. Love to see it. And Hamster Rave Party right there, locking in. What do we have? Also a double Ini, but actually 2.5. Double duelist plus a half from Colby, running that clove. You see a lot of aggressiveness coming out from that. So it would be very interesting to see how they want to play around these. Ray both teams opting for that classic Sentinel, using the Killjoy to mark the extremities of this map, which is a bit different. I believe actually Cypher tends to be a higher pick rate on this Pearl map, just because you're able to really identify some of the players and have some pretty interesting trips around the area. But we'll see how the Killjoys can. Oh, it looks like they're really locking down that mid space, which we just talked about, Mickey. So we'll see how they want to maneuver around those pieces of utility right there.
Look at us and our big brains predicting things.
I know, right? I know. Big words, big brains. And just watch it just get chucked out the window. Whatever the casters say, that's all fluff, bro.
I do want to. I'm a little concerned about that Clove being the solo controller here on the side of Hamster, but here we go. We're knee deep in and out, ladies and gentlemen. First round underway of the Tenax series, presented by Harmony Esports, and GG getting up close and personal. Kobe's there, but the trades are left and right. But all of a sudden, my goodness gracious, Skyline gets absolutely obliterated within a matter of seconds, and a Hamster Rave Party are showing us in the first round what they're made of.
Yo, GG got them boots, just flying through like crazy. All the way to Secret at the backside of A. Unfortunately, only dropped a single other player. I believe it was Iridescent or Reverie. I couldn't quite tell in the absolute chaos and the mishmash of players. As Hamster Rave honestly did not wait for anything to settle, just holding Skyline Dreamers by a toe and pushing them off the map as quickly as they stormed in. First on the board, going to Hamster Rave Party. I think that kind of push, that entry, combined with Mads on that fade to be able to throw that Haunt, throw that Prowler, and just open up so much space. Cloud Z coming in on that, maybe that gate crash on that backline. I think Skyline Dreamers may have a really explosive element, and Hamster Rave Party just kind of suplexed them just by coming in at the same time, to be honest, Mickey.
Yeah, it was a very good read from Hamster. I mean, that initial entry from GG, unfortunately. I mean, they picked up, they got their one. I know they're in Discord, right? I got my one! But unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. But I think we did have a bit of a disconnect, so we're on a bit of a tech timeout here just momentarily, just to make sure everybody's good. But attempting to figure out I think we should be good. Usually when this happens, the players are pretty quick about getting right back in, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, we'll see. But right now, we're gonna fall back to our lovely, lovely faces, just because I think it's gonna take a little bit of time for one of these players to work through the tech pause.
Yeah, and it happens honestly.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd much rather the tech issues happen in the first couple rounds. That way, the rest of the evening goes off without a hitch, because that's how that works, right? If you have one issue, it won't turn into multiple. It'll just stay that one, and you'll be fine the rest of the time, right? Right,
Mickey?
Tech Lords?
Why did you open your mouth? Why? That's as caster curse as that honestly sounds like you just did. Bro, step off, dude. You just, no. No. We'll say it here together. Lightning won't strike twice. We'll say it, right, Mickey? Mm-hmm. Mickey, talk to me here. Don't leave me in the lurch, bro.
Everything's fine, multitudes.
Everything's good. We're vibing here. We're all good.
Man. Oh man, it's fun. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're having fun. Well, everything is fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. What do you think of the new map rotations? Actually, look, I am so surprised that Ascent got taken out of the map pool, and then 1 week later, like some twitchy hands in the background of Riot Games was like, no, we gotta put it back.
Yeah.
We gotta put it back. We can't live without sense.
I think I know what's happening. They're playing Uno every day, and whoever wins gets to decide the map pick. So I think what happened is there's a new reigning champion, and they insist on having Ascent in the pool. So I think that's confirmed via me.
I like it. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I am my own source. Still don't have a Riot buddy, but you know.
I think they're bringing back. They're taking out. They're taking out what Sunset as well as Abyss.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad Abyss is out. I'm so
honestly,
since this new rank started,
like,
I haven't got a single win. I haven't had a single win on Abyss.
Abyss is one of those maps, man, where you either absolutely love it or it's the bane of your existence, and there is no in between. I feel like I've had. I think we're good. Yeah, timer's going. Players are back in. We're good. We're ranting. We ranted long enough. We yapped and we bantered, and we're all good.
We did our jobs, Mickey.
Exactly. That's what we're here to do. Is just talk. Doesn't matter about what. Just talk. Everything's fine. Okay, not a phenomenal start here for Skyline after that tech pause for Hamster. Not looking too great here right off the bat.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, okay, never mind. Colby's gonna go ahead and ace, I guess. I'm a bit confused.
Huge round, huge start from the Hamster Rave party coming out from that tech pause. Kobe picking up the quick ace on that Bulldog. But granted, you know, Skyline Dreamers, they were on a bit of a save round. I think if I spotted that correct, classics all around. They're going to be able to buy up moving into round number 3. And looks like they're going to spice things up a little bit. They're going to try and push their way through onto that B. Where, once again, that Ace Meister, Colby, is going to be hauled up in elbow. Trying to see if they can get a few picks here and there. Reverie just by the side, so they're gonna have to want to clear this out bit by bit. You see the rotates already coming in. Prowler sent out to clear the weird corners that Reverie might be in that secret corner along B long before they tell you out, but no one is there to receive. Smoke comes out aggressive with it to try and hold them back. GG gonna satchel straight in and get some space for the team.
But Cloudsy making short work of these Hamster players, picking up 2. Colby's going to get back in things off that resurrection, though. Iridescent, last man standing on site, is going to get some reinforcements here in the form of Killjoy and Sova, hoping to get a little bit more space created, taken back. But man, the corners are so tight here. Ray does go down. Cloudsy made... Oh, it's not an ace quite yet. They have to take down Iridescent. And it will be a full-on ace. Right now, it's just a penta, but remember, the revive came in, the resurrection came in from Clove. Iridescent has no idea, has absolutely no idea that there is a Yoru on site and they've got their number, but now they're going to get spotted out, but it doesn't matter. Mushi goes down. We're not going to see an ace. Iridescent is not going to see the light of day, and somehow Skyline captures that round.
That could have been back-to-back aces from rounds 2 to round 3. Cloudsy getting the pseudo ace after dropping Colby twice, coming out from that not dead yet. But man, these duelists are just racking up numbers right now, and Skyline Dreamers able to bring at least 3 rifles over. You're gonna be able to see them buy up as well. Now we're moving straight into what I love to call the meat and potatoes of this round. Round 4 here, both sides being able to buy up. Cloudsy 1 away from that dimensional drift, no less. So gonna be able, maybe, you know, do some orb farming, get that up just a little bit as well, as they kind of do a bit of a split here, draw a lot of attention around these areas. Haunt gonna be dealt with by Unfeel at the back of sight, and to be backed up by the rest of their Hamster parties here. Things go quite a little bit. I think just waiting for a few more players, a few more pokes, maybe waiting for Cloudsy to give them a bit of an all clear, make some noise on B and pull some rotates away. What do you think?
I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of timing. We have a minute left on the clock. Skyline needs to make a decision. I think Array is going to spot out the fellow Killjoy here, but Very little information during the damage. I mean, aside from Array's kneecaps, they're gone. 37 HP, but they're going to be forced to back off that angle, and it's going to allow a flood of Skyline players to capture a site, but there's still a little bit of Killjoy utility on there. It doesn't matter, though. Mad's going to go ahead and get that spike down, and now I thought Cloud2 was maybe going to hop on a flank here, but I guess not. Colby and Reverie do pick up one each. Just like that, it's a 5 versus 3 on the retake. Skyline suddenly at a big disadvantage here, but Mushi, first line of defense. Mads picks up 1, 3 versus 4. Time is ticking. Cloudsy, beautiful flash off the dimensional drift here, trying to buy time, trying to play time. All Skyline has to do is make sure that no one gets that defuse off, and then suddenly it's all up to Cloudsy, who doesn't have enough time to do anything. Does pick up 1, but Array gets the defuse and the final headshot, and just like that, Hamster Rave Party gonna go ahead and capture a 3rd on the board. 10-2. Colby is 10-2, dude. What the hell?
Just clicking those heads, you know, it's just as easy as that, Mickey. If there's anything that you need to know about Valorant, is when you see a head, you move your cursor over to it, and then you click your left mouse button. That's basically what Kobe is doing 10 times over in 4 rounds. That is absolutely insane.
I mean, we've seen multiple. It's round 5, multitudes, and we have already seen multiple multi-kills coming out here. But Unfeel with a beautiful first blood takes down Mushi here. That's gonna not be a very comfortable post-plant defense if Skyline gets spiked down here, and the numbers already dwindling.
Yeah, Unfeel gets tagged. Gonna have to back out just a little bit more. They have the numbers advantage, and they do want to play around with it. Iridescent holding that corner where Mads is around there with the spike in hand. Prowler comes out, spot does just a couple of players as well. So that's where you're doing a 2-1 split. The trait comes out. GG's will be able to spot that out, but and get themselves an upgrade in terms of weapon as well. But look where Kobe is. Oh my dear.
All about timing again. GG.
Last player
not in a great position. Definitely not in a great position. That's the floor. You shouldn't be laying down. Unfeel picks one up for themselves, and Hamster Rave Party continues their dominance here. They struggled for just 1 round, and they have continued to gain that momentum, and they're going to keep on going. 4-1 now. Skyline needs to find a foothold here.
They do indeed. They're gonna have a few ultimates in hand here. They have got the one away from Showstopper. They already have the Nightfall online, and they might want to use that for an explosive start. But we've seen them plant a few times. They just haven't been able to hold the site. And so pushing forward, getting that space, holding that space is what they are trying to get their hands around.
Face your
see the aggressiveness from Hamster probably just be able to take all this space and backstab all these players.
Spike down. Beautiful opening for Array. That early aggression up to mid, and what were we saying? What did we see the first round, and what were we saying on pregame? Get control of that mid area, and the round is yours. But the problem is you can't just get control. You have to keep it. And Hamster is currently in that struggle. Unfeel pops up on there and gives a quick little taparoni to Cloudsy. Array picks one up. Mushi does get a trade-off, but it doesn't matter at all because Iridescent is there to close out the round. 5-1, Hamster Rave Party. What else can you say?
Yo, the snowball has started. It just honestly looked like Hamster Rave Party had Skyline Dreamers playbook out in the open, just reading it from their laps and be like, yo, if we just storm Art into mid, we'll catch them on the back foot. Getting Mads just one tap from the back. Ooh, that was nasty to see, and they're really starting to snowball away in terms of credits, in terms of points. Skyline Dreamers forced once again on a severe eco. Sheriffs all around. They have a couple ultimates they want, but Hamster Rave Party are playing the strategy that worked. You know, they're pushing, taking all that B-long control space out of the hands of Skyline Dreamers. So they have, you know, this leaves the offensive team to maybe explore somewhere else and explore D. Array caught in a very precarious situation. Gonna be cleared. We're looking at a trade-off between Unfeel as well as Array. Interesting.
Oh, Hunter's Fury comes out. Does the damage. Array finishes them off. Beautiful spike down, but a quick recollection here for Cloudsy. Out the gate crash. JJ finishes off Colby. Oh my goodness, just clicking heads. GG picks up a Ray. Reverie now the only thing standing between Skyline and a B-site plant, but oh my goodness. Reverie said, you're gonna rip my teammates' heads off. Let me go ahead and give you a taste of your own medicine here, but 40 on the clock. Skyline. There's 2 players on A, 1 on B. It's a coin flip on which direction they go.
They're gonna have to figure out where they want to go. If they go to B, Reverie has the dimensional drift to just pop it out and make sure that they can regroup with their teammates here. But looks like they're gonna, you know, they have 1 Vandal in hand. Cloudsy leading the charge, Shirley with a Sheriff. 3 Astra Stars in place. They're gonna have to make a break for it, and they may have chosen wrong with 2 players on the A site. Plot has to come down.
Last player standing.
Oh no, Unfeel, no, Ellie! I feel like Ellie just didn't react there, and Unfeel shut them down. Iridescent with the operator closes it out. Oh man. It was a 50-50. You go left, you face 1 player, you go right, you face 2, and unfortunately, they chose incorrectly. And it led to yet another L on the board for Skyline Dreamers, and they are just... You can't be feeling good. I mean, at this point, your best case scenario in this first half is a tied half, and even that, you're going to have to win the next 5 rounds in a row. I mean, economically, you're going to be hurting after a while, but even right now, it's just, what is coming off of Killjoy's head? What is happening? Did you see that?
No, I must have missed it. I must have missed it slightly. GG coming strong with that showstopper. Iridescent fires through. Great shot.
Iridescent early pick with that operator. Like you said, showstopper not finding anybody. Cloudsy takes down that operator. Mushi able to get up close and personal on site. The defender Killjoy lockdown is in play here. All they have to do is play time. Reverie though trying to fight it, trying to continue to trap Skyline in this ultimate. GG last man standing, 1 on 3, takes down 1 and 2, but no time. Colby seals the deal, but GG not gonna even pick them up. It's 7-1. Skyline had that round, and the lockdown came out, and everything fell apart. Hamster Rave Party, dominant to say the least.
We need to stem the bleeding. We need to stem. Call a timeout. Call a timeout somewhere. Something needs to happen right now. Skyline Dreamers are letting these players run it away with them. There's a lot of aggression that Hamster Rave Party have put onto the scene of Pearl, and because of that, so much map information, so much map control. They're sending players exactly where they should be to be able to counter all the aggression that Skyline Dreamers is sending them, right? And so they're looking like maybe they want to play a bit slower right now, change up the pace, try and jump peek their way through, figure out where some of these players are. But once again, Hamster Rave Party, you see Unfeel pushing up so far into A main. They have gotten all that map space for free, might I add. And so, oh, great shot from the side of Reverie just to kick things off. Man down from the side of Skyline. There's 1 player off, not looking great.
Cloudsy stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Taking a bit of pot shot damage. Iridescent, meanwhile, operator in hand. The scope out, the timing, not in their favor. Gonna have to skedaddle. And just like that, Skyline basically now reset. Trying to figure out which way. Oh, look at the map here. Oh, now, I don't even know what's happening. It looked like Hamster was gonna rotate perfectly to intercept on A site, but then they changed direction. They split up a little bit, and now they're back on A site. Both teams are going to meet face to face with 20 seconds on the clock. Skyline has no time to be wasted here. Colby, Iridescent finds the first one. Colby there for the second. Iridescent for a third. Cloudsy is not in a position to get anything done. 10 seconds is not enough time. They're going to be forced to save that Vandal, bring that rifle into the next round. Hamster Rave Party have just been too good on this first half on defense. I mean, what can Skyline Dreamers do here?
It was a bit of a missed opportunity when Iridescent got timing diffs, but just could not get that operator out of those Jets' hands. What was the instrumental play from the side of Hamster Rave Party? They left a Ray in Art, and Art just heard a massive like run it down. All these footsteps from the side of A main, and allowing the defensive team to reorganize themselves onto the A side. Once the Haunt came out, it was all over for the Skyline Dreamers. They are bleeding. They're bleeding hard. We need them in the ICU right now, Mickey, because they are 8-1, and I wouldn't bank on any sort of 9-3 curse to get them started right now.
You want to fight it?
I mean, it's looking rough. I mean, as far as blood donation, they're looking pretty negative at the moment. But Skyline Dreamers, I don't think they're out of it quite yet. It's a 7-round deficit. Yes, it's not fun to look at, but it's definitely doable here. We've seen crazier things on the Tenax series, but I don't know. Cloudsy doing what they can to just provide a distraction. And look at that, the entirety of Hamster, they bought into it. They're all on B site. And by the time they realize what has happened, Skyline gets the spike down, and they're already ready for this post-plant defense.
Now, you see Mushi. Mushi has the ultimate as well to be able to hold that back there. They're erupting into the side of mid right now. Kobe pops it, not dead yet. Moving into Art, trying to pinch all these players off. But look at the repositioning from the side of Mushi.
No. Oh, that crossfire, Unfeel. Coming for revenge, perhaps. Iridescent trying to stick it, but the nano swarms gonna make it a little bit more difficult. The Haunt comes out, no information to be provided, but Iridescent goes crazy, picks up 2 with the Blade Storm, finally does get shut down at the hands of GG, who picks up a 4th, a nice little quad, and finally Skyline gonna get a 2nd on the board, and all they had to do was play ultimate mind games with the Cosmic Divide as the frontal force of that initial attack, and it was absolutely perfect textbook by Skyline. But Hamster, they are still very much in charge of this map. I mean, even if you look at the economy, Skyline, they got to get this next round, and they are going to be back in the ditch in terms of money.
They are indeed. Now, granted, Skyline Dreamers, they have, you know, a number of great ultimates in play that they could use if they just barrage their way onto the A side right now. You see the operator sound rings out on that A site. The lockdown just coming into play right now to be able to force these players off. Is it a fake? Only time will tell, Mickey.
Colby stuck. They're going to get locked down. There's not enough time for them to escape. Unfeel is ready for salvation, but no! Unfeel taken out by the showstopper. GG picks up a 2nd with the hands of Ellie to help out. All of a sudden, Hamster falling, dropping like flies. Skyline is a different team in these last 2 rounds. 5 versus 2. Iridescent with the operator trying to scope out any kind of information, but I don't know if Skyline is going to let this defuse happen.
It's a 5 versus 2 right now. They've got a lot of utility at hand, maybe some post plants as well. That's the first one going off from the side of Killjoy. Nano Swarm, Reverie trying to take all this space, but there's not enough time, so they're gonna have to just tap and maybe back off. I'm interested to see how they want to play this because they're gonna die to Spike.
Oh. Yeah, Iridescent's forced to save that operator, bring it into the 2nd round, and there's your 3, Multitude. Skyline 3 on the board.
Last round.
If we get one more from Hamster, we could be seeing that curse. But honestly, I mean, look at GG putting in the numbers 13-9 or 13-9, I should say. Not insane, but definitely what your Raze needs to be doing. And I think right now, these 2 rounds that Skyline have collected, I think that is going to be on the backs of Cloudsy and GG.
I completely agree, right? And one more on the board from Skyline. 4-8 feels just about comfortable enough on a Pearl map to be able to get some information, you know, some sort of leverage, some sort of advantage. Hamster Rave Party opting for a 3 packs move into mid. And seeing no one there, now they feel pretty confident that all these players are going to be holed up onto B. Dimensional Drift is popped, trying to peek out and force this Cloudsy player off.
But no dice. Just too quick. The gate crash comes out.
Face your fear!
Oh man. The Nightfall as well to provide a beautiful entry. Cloudsy takes down Iridescent with a beautiful burst. But the fellow Yoru's getting in on the mix. Mads goes ahead and gets that spike down at B site. And now it's a 4-player retake here for Hamster. It's all about timing.
Revealing area.
Just coming out right now. They're
Unfeel.
trying to get all these players.
Last
I feel
player
that recon
standing.
dart could have been useful a little bit earlier than that, but unfortunately, they are going to go down. Colby, last player standing. 1 versus 4 picks up GG. 1 versus 3 now. Head on the crosshair, but it's not enough. Mads with a headshot. Going to solidify the fact that Skyline
Switching sides.
deserves to be here. And we're not going to see a shutout in the first half. I'm happy with this result so far. 8-4. It's not super comfortable, but it's definitely better than a potential 9-1, which is what we were looking at in the first, in the first half of that first half. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that Skyline has come back just a little bit. They only have 4 more rounds to close that off. So hopefully they're a whole different team coming into this second half.
They're looking a little bit more alive. Like me waking up just 30 minutes ago. No big deal. They're warming themselves back up. GG Cloudzy holding the front with 24 kills to both their names. So definitely able to, click some hits and secure themselves some kills. But we do need the rest of the team to support them from this endeavor. You see a very aggressive stance from the side of Skyline being able to take that space. A very aggressive smoke actually from the side of that Astra to be able to hold the offense from taking any sort of B-long space. The fight's erupting onto mid.
All the way down lane. Oh, man.
Right here.
Colby and company kind of stuck down lane here. Oh, I don't know what I just witnessed, but I want to see it again. Reverie with teammate on the back. Oh my, what is happening? Ring around the rosy.
One
Iridescent
enemy
shot you in the forehead. There we go. And suddenly it's down to Mushi in a 1 versus 5 and no dice. But I do want to talk about that early Astra smoke. I think that was one of the reasons that Skyline wasn't able to find so many rounds in that first half on the attack. You need to be dropping those smokes to cut off those rotate angles. And I feel like we just weren't seeing that quite enough. And I think that was the reason that Skyline was dropping so many rounds. Hamster has 6 rounds in a row in that first half. And then all of a sudden, Skyline, it's almost like they remembered how to play the game. I'm kidding. I love you. I love everybody. I love all these players. Thank you for joining us. But it's definitely looking a little bit more comfortable here on the second half for Hamster as they get that first round off the board. But the question is, can they keep up that momentum?
A gamble stack from the side of Skylines, all on B, leaving GG on their lonesome. The raid boss themselves on the defensive side. Gonna be able to drop 1 at the very least. Colby, the other raid boss, but now is on the shoulders of GG to at least maybe, hopefully get 1 more pick, or at the very least call the rest of their team over. You see the split coming around here. This is a little bit more interesting. Oh, beautiful with it. Holy! Okay.
That was sexy.
Okay.
That was a beautiful shot. But can they do it again? No. Reverie's got 1 to trade off. And with the damage done earlier, GG just didn't stand a chance. Just a reminder for chat, these are game changers players, so it's to be expected we're going to see some nasty shots, but some of these one-taps so far, ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of skeptical. Maybe check them PC. I don't know. But Iridescent still putting up a fight for this lower half of the back of sight. No, Ellie finally going to put him down. 2 versus 2 now.
Ellie has a Vandal as well. They just picked that up off the body of Iridescent, so it's a real game that we have on our shoulders, but the time is running out. Flash is in play as well. They're playing off each other. It's not great.
Check corners. You gotta check those corners.
Oh,
no!
Oh my
goodness! A Ray with a bulldog and a dream solidifies the clutch. All because, all due to the fact that Ellie did not check that corner on the retake. Array didn't get checked, didn't get cleared, and just got rid of that diffuser and then cleaned it up. My goodness.
Mickey, I have goosebumps. I have that's wild. Just the trigger discipline from Array to be able to hold that and bring Hamster Rave Party into double digits here. They're still gonna have 3 rifles as well, so they're putting up a fight. If anything, and Hamster Rave are just storming onto that A side as quickly as they can, held back by that Prowler and the smoke that comes in just last minute. to be able to hold the advancements back. They're stuck in A main, and now they're re-exploring the rest of this site. Skyline Dreamers haven't taken advantage of the chaos to be able to claim any of that mid space, unfortunately.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of mid contests here in the second half. But nonetheless, Hamster has now captured 2 rounds.
Bring them down.
So maybe we're wrong. Maybe you need it. I don't know. Maybe you need it. Maybe you don't. It's definitely doable to capture a site without that middle ground being held, but it's going to be a lot easier if you have areas like Art and that long sidewalk shut down to make sure those rotates don't come in. But less than 40 on the clock here. Reverie and company, they gotta find something here. They gotta find an opening pick.
30 seconds left.
Or maybe they're gonna go for it. The gate crash comes out. Iridescent gets absolutely erased. Colby with a trade though. Refrag, I should say. Taking down Maz. Mushi and company now bursting out of the clove smoke. Mushi and Ellie working in tandem, holding hands. Unfeel takes down one, but Ellie's there to put the nail in the coffin. And finally, Skyline starts to come back alive in this second half.
Release the tension. Good. Let's
Great
go.
response from the Skylines. Like you said, you know, they didn't really rotate around, even though there was so much
enough time to go
sound
into
and
the
space
Astral
being made on the A. You saw Clouds actually posted up on B long. So if they heard any noise in the rotates, they would have been able to gate crash their way out. The rotates would, if they come in, they can play the retake or maybe put up a better defensive hold onto B. They held their end, and the haunt that comes out from Mad the last possible second on A just confirmed that everyone was there. That was a great hold from the side of Skyline Dreamers to be able to pick up their 5th. And now, once again, meat and potatoes. No, Colby and Reverie back on Sheriff, so it's still going to be 3 kind of rifles here on this side. Prowler to come back to combat that drone, but Iridescent is there to trade out 2 and 3rd!
Oh man. This is all, again, not looking great for Skyline. Oh, but there we go, Cloudsy. Looking to put a dent in the terrible situation they found themselves in. A minute on the clock. Spike looks to be re-rotating back towards B site, which is completely void of Skyline players. Iridescent with a 4K, tops it off with the ace with a Blade Storm. Iridescent going off. My goodness. Iridescent.
Yo, this is map 1. This is the first map. We've had 2 proper aces and a 3rd pseudo ace. This is
We've had so many multi-kills,
insane.
even outside of the aces. We've seen 3s and 4s left and right. I mean, I don't even understand. Iridescent and Colby, look at the numbers up there. 17 and 6, 16 and 9. Arrays up there with the numbers. I mean, and then we look at the side of Skyline, and it's, you know, it's very different in terms of numbers, but the players, the Sentinels, the controllers, they're still doing, well, the one controller and the one Sentinel that Skyline have, they are still putting up what they need to be doing in terms of abilities. They're shutting down angles, and they're allowing their own team to come through those same angles. But at the end of the day, we're gonna need to see those kill numbers go up just a little bit. But Mads and Gigi, unfortunately, get taken out pretty early on here, and it looks like A site is free, except for the fact that Mushi is sitting Art to the Sheriff. Oh no, the wraparound array with a flank of a lifetime. And that's gonna allow
Spike planted.
the entirety of Hamster to swallow a site. Reverie does go down in the process, but it's already a 2 versus 4 on the retake for Skyline, and it's not looking like a Skyline outcome here.
Not indeed. The great flash to be able to pull Array off that sight line, but once again, they're trying to double up just to get put down at the last possible second. Skyline Dreamers looking like they're facing up against a match point. This is going to be a tall order, Mickey. An extremely tall order.
Look, 7 rounds is not impossible. But when you're facing a match point, you're not even trying to stop the match point. It's already there. You can't allow any more errors on your side. Skyline, you gotta find something for 7 rounds. No room for error at all. We're at match point. Hamster Rave Party is 1 away from starting this series off very strong. Skyline just has to find something here. They have to find a foothold, and they have to hold on for dear life. Because, I mean, Hamster's just looking so strong.
Reverie actually popped Dimensional Drift, got so much information that so many people are along B-Long, and now using the Dimensional Drift, at least on the... Oh, great lurk right here. Gonna be able to get the drop on Reverie right there.
Oh, man, that's my Astra right there. That's how you play Astra, ladies and gentlemen. The reach, it doesn't matter. You can put smokes down from Narnia. Look at the wasted showstopper from GG. Less than a minute on the clock. The Astral Divide comes up, and it's gonna seal. I don't think Hamster. They're gonna try it. They can plant. There is a square inch of plant remaining, and they're gonna be able to do it. And what sucks about that for Skyline is they've now cut themselves off from the plant angle. But it's still doable.
Unfuel has the Hunter's Fury as well. That's not good. You're gonna have to push that off somehow.
Nowhere to run!
There we go. Hunter's Fury does come out. Iridescent, doing everything they can, but it's not enough. Skyline somehow pulls every prayer, every hope, every dream into that round. They get the defuse off, and somehow they take the round, and they're still alive, Multitudes. How are they still alive?
They prayed to the right Valorant gods for that particular round. Unfuel just came out a little too late with that Hunter's Fury, and so sticking that defuse, we get ourselves another round, another opportunity to just keep it going. Now, Hamster Rave Party are baking in the finances, so it's going to be a round and a half before they are forced back on an eco, which they absolutely need to if Skyline Dreamers have any dream of getting their Skyline up. Great opening shot from the side of Iridescent, but GG responds in kind. That is the Nightfall to be able to force all of Hamster Rave Party off of A. And so now, they're scrambling for answers, something you don't often see on the side of Hamster Rave Party, but it is what it is. Skyline Dreamers opting to now triple stack their way out of art. We'll see if this pays off. Gonna be met with that.
Oh man.
Spike down.
I was gonna say, I'm just flabbergasted that there's still 8 on the board, but now the number dwindles down to 6. 3 versus 3. Colby out of nowhere with a balance game. The lockdown, meanwhile, doing something on B site. I'm not entirely sure the strat over there. Spike wasn't over there. I'm sure they were trying to negate some kind of push onto B site, but there was no opposing players. Now it leaves Iridescent 1 versus 3. Swing that corner. Check the corners. There we go. Learning from the opposing team's mistakes earlier on. Picks up 2 and 3. Can they lock in the 4th? 25 on the clock. Spike has no time to get where it needs to go. Iridescent has no idea Mushi's here, but it doesn't matter. They have an insane reaction time. My God. Iridescent solidifies the game 13-6. Oh my word. Multitudes, what did we just witness? What's going on?
Yo, they came out swinging. I think that was a 4K right at the end in a 1v3 situation to clutch up for a Hamster Rave Party right at the very last round. Round number 19 to seal things off. And oh, that was absolutely wild for Hamster Rave Party to show such a strong dominance in their opening debut in 2025 of the Tenax series presented by Harmony right now. Skyline Dreamers, they were shut down time and time again. I think they took a while for them to warm up. They got a few more rounds under their belt at the end of the first half. They lost the pistol in the second. They were able to come back just a little bit, but maybe lost a bit more confidence along the way. And that was just so much for Skyline Dreamers to have to handle right there.
Yeah, just all that effort from Skyline, and it just wasn't enough. 13-6 as the final score. I mean, Iridescent went 345 combat score. If that tells you anything. And what's insane is Colby was only 6 kills behind them on that. And it was just, and I you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a shutout. Skyline was there. They were getting rounds. They were getting kills, just not to the point where they needed to be. But I don't think that Skyline is here by accident. I think they just need to find their stride. And I think in the second game coming up here, I think the second map on Lotus, where Hamster is once again going to be starting on defense, I think Skyline might be able to get a little bit of momentum flowing here on an attack-sided map where they're starting on attack. So hopefully we see a different outcome for them, for Skyline's sake. Hopefully we see a different outcome from that first map. But my goodness, 13-6. What a scoreline. I mean, oh, man.
I think Hamster Rave Party really just tried to play in a manner that didn't allow Skyline Dreamers to settle at any point in time, being on the offensive, being on the defensive.
They just kept going.
They just kept going, really. They just kept going. And the W key was unlocked. It reminds me of just a little bit like of the PRX strat right there when they were able to just
W pray.
Honestly, yeah, W pray and they really pushed themselves through. But at the same time, they were able to play as a team, right? You saw Hamster Rave Party time and time again, at least in the first half, they were taking a lot of mid space, but they played together. They played off each other, which is how you want a high functioning Valorant team to be able to play and work off each other, right? You like time and time again, you see Array working off Unfeel, Iridescent working off Reverie. A lot of these trades come out and put themselves in favorable positions to take fights, to take trades against Skyline Dreamers. And unfortunately, Skyline Dreamers just took a little too long for us to get there, right? So, like you said, hopefully by that next map, things would have warmed up. Skyline Dreamers will have some time to regroup as well as talk amongst themselves and see what they need to do just a little different to get ourselves back onto their side for Lotus.
Hit the button, producer. Do it. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Multitudes, Sir Mickey, the faces, the voices you love to see and hear. Going full anime over here, I guess. We're back. Map number 2, about to get underway. It's Lotus. The first map was not the outcome that Skyline Dreamers wanted, 13-6 in favor of Hamster Rave Party. It was fun to watch. I'll say that much. It was very interesting to watch. I looked over at our cameras every now and then, and we both just it was a very entertaining matchup. No, but in all seriousness, Skyline definitely showed up, but just not to the degree that they needed to. And hopefully, starting on an attack-sided map, they're going to have all the advantages they need to really get things going here on Lotus. But if need be, we might see a Haven later on tonight.
Very much so. And I think if the Skyline Dreamers can shut down the rave party that the Hamsters are having right there on that Lotus, I think we might be able, like you said, to be able to bring us to the third map here and play out. That is every caster's dream, to be able to do that. But for now, Lotus, 3-side map, huge extremities on either side of both A, Rubble, and C, Mound. And we've seen Hamster Rave Party do crazy things trying to take those big area spaces. And I can see that coming back as well. So Skyline Dreamers need to be able to do something, at least on the attack side of Lotus, to be able to try to claim some of those extremity space for themselves, lest it goes over to that Rave Party where those hamsters be dancing. But up to that point in time, Skyline Dreamers, this is in your ball court. We'll have to figure it out. And also, to put a bit more salt into the wound right here, this is Hamster Rave Party's pick, Mickey. And Skyline Dreamers will have to steal it away from them.
It would only be right because Pearl was Skyline's pick, and Hamster took that and ran away with it, 13-6. So it would only be poetic if Skyline did the same to Hamster. So for their sake, let's hope we see a little bit more fight in the spirit, fight in the heart, some gas in the tank, some pedal to the metal, put your foot on the gas, and let's go. Let's do it. We're going to be heading into Agent Select here momentarily, but a map like you had just touched on it briefly. A map like Lotus, and we were talking about it earlier, how mid control can be very, very vital to holding these sites. A map, we're on the wrong map, producer. That's the wrong. We're getting sent into Pearl. Everything's fine. We just wanted to take one last look at it before. I don't even know if it's on stream, but we just wanted to look at it real quick.
It's a pretty map. It's a very pretty map, Mickey. It's a very pretty map.
Under the sea, doo. You touched on it briefly about that mid-map control on a map like Lotus. It's going to be kind of a toss-up. I feel defending you're absolutely going to need player placement on that B site, especially with areas like Waterfall flowing into C site, and over on A site you have the secret door area, the breakable door. Both of those are very integral angles that retakes can be very pivotal if those angles are utilized. So it's definitely, but again, they're not absolutely necessary to take the site. Post plan is where you're going to really want to worry about them. But all in all, I'm ready for Lotus. I think the players are all ready. I think we are now. We're waiting on one. Who's the one player? We're waiting on one player to get in here. I'm calling you out. I'm calling. No production. I'm not gonna blame production, even if it is production's fault. Production's just perfect. It's fine. This is what happens. Multitudes. This is what happens when you hop off the observer producer role and into the casting. The guy filling your shoes doesn't. No, I'm kidding.
I just want to do a quick shout out to Ice Fire 8 Cast right now.
Yeah,
my boy here is triple rolling as game marshal, production, and observer. So huge shout out to Ice Fire right now as part of the Tenax series presented by Harmony. And thank you everyone in Twitch chat right now for just chilling with us. We've got 40 plus members here, almost 50, just viewing us, just yapping along. Mickey, we should start a podcast. I think is that what we got? We got a podcast. No, we got Agent Select. That's what we got.
I mean, I have genuinely thought about doing like a caster podcast where we bring on different casters from different scenes, from the different esports, Rocket League or Codcaster. You never know. We could. Now that I said it out loud live, someone's gonna steal my idea. So just have me on for 1 episode, and we'll call it even. But
yeah. You heard it here first, chat.
Multitudes. This is where. So what are we here for again? Lotus. We're loading in Agent Select. We have to have a neon on a map like Lotus, as open as it will. I mean, I wouldn't say super open, but C site and A long, both very open areas. Both spawn areas very open. It's super fun to watch a neon go full Palpatine fingers and just blast through kids. Let's be honest. We are going to get a double controller on the side of Hamster Rave here, and Skyline, we're going to get a double initiator.
Yeah, Hamster Rave Party opting for that Viper Omen pick, the double controllers like you speak of. Very interesting. Not necessarily an obvious choice for Lotus.
Yeah, not exactly meta.
No, not exactly quite meta, right? Normally the double ini, which is what Skyline Dreamers is working, that's typically what's being used. You get the Mad combination from Mads on that Breach plus Clouds on that Gecko. Great combination to be able to take aggressive space. Ellie also opting to go with that Chamber. Interesting. Okay, well, sorry, Chamber's on both sides. Now, the thing I feel about Chamber is that Chamber was the first agent that broke the proper kind of agent meta, in the sense that he was the first hybrid, right? Chamber was the first hybrid agent that was a sentinel, but also sort of a duelist. So you don't have your classic kind of Cypher / Killjoy that can really lock down his sights. What Iridescent really needs to do on Hamster Rave Party here is take aggressive space. If you don't do that as a Chamber, you're absolutely not utilizing the Chamber as the pseudo duelist that they are, even though yes, they're sentinel. But that's also what Ellie will have to be doing on Skyline Dreamers, on the aggression here, moving along with Raze, who is GG on their classic Raze pick right there. A bit different from Revere, running that kind of neon slidey like you talked about, Palpatine fingers. But Raze will be able to get some height advantage, both on A mount as well as that C site. To be able to maybe draw some verticalities around while they're trying to aggress this Lotus side. And I think, honestly, this will be two very, very interesting picks that we have in front of each other.
I do want to talk about that Breach as well. Mads for Skyline hopping on Breach. That's going to be very fun to watch on a map that is, we talked about how open this map can be down A and C long. But if we talk about the close quarters combat, specifically on B site, there's a little bit of it here and there on A and C, but B site is very much, kind of like 10 feet wide. So we're going to see Aftershocks come into play. We're going to see fault lines come into play. Those flashes from Mads as well from Breach. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. What's not fun is, once again, we have a player DC. So we're going to go ahead and pause real quick before we get into everything. But it is a different player, so no toxicness in chat, all right? No BM, we don't need that. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're having fun here at the Tenax series. Again, map number 2 about to get underway here in just a few moments. The voices you're currently hearing in your head are not your ancestors from a distant past, but they are indeed Sir Mickey and Multitudes on the desk this evening with Ice Fire Ride on production and observations. And we're here, second map of the night. First one went in the way of Hamster Rave Party, 13-6, very dominant fashion on Pearl. But I mean, all in all, it's currently 1-0 in the series in Hamster's favor. Multitudes, in your professional opinion, what is Skyline Dreamers going to have to do to solidify this map to make sure we get to that third map of Haven?
Two things. The first thing I mentioned, once again, on the offense, they need to take that aggressive space. They need to fight for some of those controls around those extremities. There's so much map control around A Rubble, around C Mount, and they have to play one over the other, right? But number two, they can't afford to dwindle. I feel like there were moments when Sky Dreamers had the edge over the Hamsters on that previous map, but they either rotated off or they moved onto the side a bit too slowly. So that's the harder one to execute, right? How do you instill intuition and just game sense into this as we move straight into map number 1, and Iridescent
man.
fires one off with the Headhunter, hunting for more heads.
They listen to you. Iridescent, listen. You gotta hit. You were talking earlier. You gotta be able to utilize Chambers' kit. And right off the
Spike
bat,
down,
they
B.
do just that. Colby does find Cloudsy. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-4. And Skyline Dreamers, oh no,
player
Mads,
standing.
not where they want to be. Caught between a Viper and a hard place. Reverie comes out of absolutely nowhere, shuts down Mushi. Hamster once again starting off in their favor.
Oh, that's the first on the board once again to Hamster Rave Party. They've won all 3 pistols so far, and they're just putting things, putting the Dreamers in their place. The Dreamers opting for, I think in the previous round, a 1-3-1, so it wasn't a bit spread out plan from that perspective. They're going to be forced back on a save round here with classics all around. Meanwhile, the Hamster is going to pick up an array of weapons, 2 Marshals and a Guardian, and that's what they're going to be faced off as they move into the C.
Iridescent.
Beautiful shots.
Not able to connect that second one on GG though. And if they hit GG, no armor here on the side of Skyline. They will go down. At the hands of that Marshal. Reverie taking some pot shots, does take down Ellie. Mads with a beautiful flash. The timing works out in their favor. Reverie does go down. 3 versus 3, just over a minute on the clock. Skyline still has yet to decide where they want to take this here. Boom, boom device. But Colby and Iridescent and Colby again. Just like that in a matter of seconds. Hamster taking back control here now. I say taking back control. They haven't lost anything. Taking control of this second map of the evening. 2 rounds in a row. It's already looking a little bit dreary for Skyline, but the good news is they got rifles.
Yeah, indeed. And Colby, looking at that scoreboard, 5-1, right? Just once again, similar, a bit of a deja vu from that previous map, just racking up those kills. So Skyline Dreamers now in the hot seat. They're going to be able to buy up rifles all across the board and hopefully start with an explosive start here. Iridescent breaking that wall to triple peek down A. It's going to be a fight that explodes, starting off with that beautiful flash.
Ooh. Provide a good entry here for Skyline, but do lose a player in the process. That duelist off the board for Skyline. Meanwhile, Hamster loses one of their 2 controllers. They still got Viper up. It's still very possible to hold a defensive position here. Mushi trying to move around to get some information. Denies the haunt. Reverie playing with that door. The Prowler comes out, but no one's home. Mushi gets out of there. No more Shrouded Step to save them, though. And Mushi doing everything they can to buy their team all the time in the world to rotate all the way back to C site to safely plant the bomb. Iridescent finally puts an end to Mushi, but it's too late. Wingman. What even is Wingman? The little badger armadillo thing is so adorable.
Little Pokemon there thing. Right now the flank
Can we
is
say
coming
that?
in. We can't say that. We can't say. Colby and Iridescent coming in with the flanks. They're going to be able to pick up a couple of rifles. I think that's what Mushi tried to stop them from doing. Now it's going to be Ellie with the first contact as well. Cloudsy with the Dizzy to provide support.
Oh, man. Colby, though, on the flank. Both Hamster players, opposite ends of the map. Reverie very low on HP. But it's okay. Hopes and dreams, but Cloudsy shuts down Colby. It's all down to Reverie.
One enemy
A Guardian and a Dream. Gonna be able to take down Cloudsy, but gonna have to go on the chase to take down Mads, but they're gonna go down with Bomb. And Skyline gonna get their first on the board, 2-1. This is already looking a bit more comfortable for Skyline Dreamers than that first map.
Yeah, but Mickey, that's very expensive round for the Skyline Dreamers. I know that Mushi really tried to stay back onto A to hold back the aggressions, maybe keep some rifles out of the hands of Hamster Party, but man, they've only been able to bring over 1, so they're now down. Half shields across the board. Mushi on that Guardian. Iridescent 1 away now from that Tour de Force, which they aren't going to be able to pick up, actually. Tour de Force, you like that? You like that? You like that, Mickey?
Yeah. Oui. This is getting offensive.
We're professionals.
Professional.
A slower start from the side. Start up with that breach stun. great to maybe hold this off, but honestly, Array is undeterred, stuck up onto Mound. There's all of Mound control off. Skyline Dreamer is actually realizing that with no sounds, a lot of people could be stacked up, and they're worried. Worried right.
Super aggressive here. Does spot out Mushi, but not the one close. But GG, of all people, is going to be able to get that first pick on the board. There were 2 other targets. GG came out of nowhere. Cloudsy able to advance up a little further, does a good amount of wallbang damage, but the Shrouded Step going to provide a temporary escape. Meanwhile, Ellie taking down Unfeel on the other side of the map. That's going to signal a rotate from the rest of Skyline. And just like that, a flood down a long through tree room. Mads and company. The fault line a tad too early here. No one's quite on site to get dazed. Skyline at this point is just wasting abilities. The fall line, the aftershock, the paint shells all wasted. There's no one there to take that damage. But Iridescent and company set up for the retake already. Ooh, Array! Ooh. Give Mads a haircut, why don't you? Mushi with a quick trade, though. Iridescent takes out GG, Ellie, a trade of their own, and Colby now down to a 1 versus 3. Full health. Not very many abilities. Full ammo on the board. Phantom in hand. It's doable, but time is not on their side. The hourglass is running short. Beautiful headshot takes down Mushi. Snake bite to make sure no one gets out alive as Colby's going to cover this exit. Picks up 1, not the second though. Ellie picks up a 3K, and Skyline Dreamers looking a lot more comfortable in this first half of Pearl.
We are tied
Pearl,
up. Lotus. We are tied up.
Fine.
We are tied up. Skyline Dreamers are looking like the patience paid off, which is great. They waited very patiently on the side to see if Hamster Rave Party aggresses, and they did. They were able to trade off each other, which is terrific. And now, for the first time in a very long time, in fact, I think the first time I've seen Hamster Rave Party on a severe save round. Kobe, the only one to be able to buy up. And one of the few here holding back the advancements. This is to force them back off this strong angle that is the C.
Oh, look at this. Omen versus Omen possibly here. If Mushi hits the button. Ray gets covered in that fault line, as does Unfeel, unable to escape the wall bangs. Array does take down GG and gets away with their life. Colby posted up, quite literally, on C site, ready and waiting for this entry, but the Cloud is going to slow down that momentum quite a bit. Iridescent, meanwhile, keeping a lock-in on the fellow chamber. Very slow round here.
They do have 50 seconds left. They are rotating over. Iridescent posted up with the Tour de Force. Cloudsy does have the Thrash, which is going to be a great entry just to take all that A main space away, forcing Iridescent off. I don't know if we're using that. The Flash comes out, misses that first Tour de Force short. Oh! Beautiful shot from inside of Ellie.
30 seconds left.
Iridescent, don't feel too bad. Your body teleported out of harm's way. Everything's fine. 25 on the clock. There we go, the opening that Skyline Dreamers needed. Site is clear, but they don't know. They're going to take their time to try to clear it, but Mad's going to get spiked down nonetheless. Ellie spots out Reverie here. Lock down this angle. There we go. The Neon's out of play. Wingman does spot out Array here. No Shrouded Step to get them out of trouble. They're going to have to push into this site battle here. Mads. The timing may pop out of the smoke. Array might not be ready for Mads here. A double smoke just to reaffirm. Quick tap. Mads clears Spike. No one is home. Colby does take down Mads. Ellie to Colby. Cloudsy to shut it down, finish it off. And for the first time in the series, Skyline Dreamers is leading Hamster Rave Party, and it's gotta feel good.
It's gotta feel good indeed. This feels like a different team. They actually saved all their outs moving out of that round 5. Yep, the round 5. So Cloudzy still has that Thrash online. They knew that Hamster Rave Party were on a save buy, so they basically just used simple utility to force some of these angles off, play around with the hearts and minds. You see them tap that B door, you see them poke around C and redivert to A. This is the triple site map play that we do want to see, and the aggression from the first time to come out. The Paranoid does not connect, but Iridescence connects with a shot of their own. Array around this corner.
Oh, Array, so many targets, but nobody's home. The aftershock forcing Reverie out of this position. They're running gun headshot. My God, Mushi, a bullet to the brain. That regen shield's got to be feeling nice for Reverie here, but it slows down the push on the side of Skyline Dreamers. 3-3, just over a minute on the clock. Unfield trying to test the waters here. It's a bit cold. Let me just dip my toe in real quick. Make sure this angle is clear. Thrash, as you said last round, phenomenal for clearing space. They're going to go ahead and make sure side is clear, but it's not. Reverie tucked away in this bottom corner. 50 on the clock. Spike needs to be recovered and planted, but Reverie and company, they're going to get aggressive and make sure that doesn't happen. And Reverie, my goodness, a three-piece on the board, and just like that, it's all tied up 3-3. Hamster not backing down quite yet.
Not backing quite down yet, indeed. Didn't like what they saw in the last 3 rounds, so they put another one into the pin right there. Hamster Rave Party, honestly, I want to say Colby, yes, top of the leaderboard right now, but the perfect wall up just to allow Reverie to slide out, get a single shot onto Mushi, and then the wall comes up just to block the rest of it and prevent the trade from Cloudzy. That is the high-level gameplay that I love to see from them right now. Opting for a bit of a slower pace right now. Ellie with that tour de force gets caught off on the back foot. Now remaining 4 players outside of C will have to do absolute work to be able to clear the rest of this, because the post from Hamster Rave Party is severe on the A side. They've lost all other map control, and the execute comes out.
Phenomenal execute here. From oh my goodness, the kill feed to Rainbow. I was about to praise Hamster, but then Skyline evened it out, and just like that, 2 versus 3. Array on a beautiful flank, but no! Oh my goodness, Array! Call him Steph Curry, and this is gonna be controversial because he's choking. My goodness.
I mean, luckily Kobe was there to support as well. Kobe was there to swing out just at the last possible moment to clutch up, put themselves back into the lead right there. Is that the basketball player? Like who chokes? Yes. I thought your Steven guy, it doesn't choke.
I don't know. I don't watch sportsball. I have no idea. I just know that Steph Curry is one of the main hyped up in pop culture, and I know a lot of people love him, and that's why I said it, to upset people, because that's what we're here to do. Upset people. No, I'm kidding. Professional, big door, unfortunately did not save Colby's life. You can't hide behind something that is 4 inches wide because it was turned on the wrong axis for you to hide behind. But good news for Skyline, C-site is wide open, and they're gonna have enough time to not only get spiked down, but set up for that post-plant defense. But now Unfield with the Prowlers trying to clear some space for themselves to make an entry here up in heaven.
Great pivot as well from the side. They caught Colby up there. Skyline Dreamers actually going to be able to pick up a rifle. That is the showstopper as well as the electricity coming out. Trying to make all this space.
1 enemy remaining. 1 enemy remaining. Clutch.
Did everyone see that?
And 1v1 right there. Ellie wins out with the headhunter just at the last possible second. Skyline Dreamers able to put a response onto the board. We are tied up once again, Mickey.
Man, I feel like that first map on Pearl very clearly went in the way of Hamster, and now it has just been, it's been nothing but tug of war, man, this entire first half. I mean, 4-4, we're all tied up. I feel it's been 2 rounds in the way of Hamster, 3 in the way of Skyline, and then it's just been back and forth since then. One of these teams, they got to find a foothold here within the next couple rounds. They have to find some way to shut the other team down, and this might be it. Mads ready and waiting with this Rolling Thunder. I don't know if they're going to hit Iridescent here with it, though. Iridescent was barely in range, but teleports out in time. Good life-saving skills there, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. If you're ever trapped in the middle of the ocean, just teleport away and you'll be fine. Viper's Cloud to negate that push from Breakable Door. Reverie set up on stairs. Array, the entirety of the defense ready and waiting, holding these angles ever so diligently. GG doing what they can to force these angles to remain closed here, but Reverie, the timing, with the help, takes down 2 of them, but Mads finally does return the favor, and now it's Colby popping that Viper's Pit, securing sight. Is Spike gonna, yes, Spike does get swallowed up, just barely, but Mads, I think that's recoverable.
Oh dear, Mads on their lonesome, gonna have to stop Array at some point in time, who's held up in his corner.
30 seconds left.
What's happening? What are we witnessing? Oh my goodness. It's spray and pray from both players here. With the help of the Prowler though. Oh no, Ellie somehow survives! Array goes down! 1 versus 2, Ellie doesn't have enough time to take both out and get the spike plant, but I think they're just gonna try to play for picks here. Yeah, just bring that Phantom into the next round. Unfortunate ending for Skyline, but they're still in it. Only a 1-round deficit. This is still anyone's game, Multitudes.
It really much is. Colby pulling out that round-saving ultimate. I did not know the Viper Pit extended from drop all the way to the edge of tree. That is ridiculous. That is such wide coverage.
Huge pit.
Huge pit. And Mads just getting caught off that back foot right there. You know, starting off with the explosion from Mads, ending with a unfortunate death while trying to get that spike down on their lonesome self. The trades were there, but not enough for Skyline to secure themselves yet another round. So that puts themselves back on that eco. Not a lot of not a lot of wiggle room to be a hero when you're, you know, having to deal with that shot. Oh my jeez.
You say it, and Iridescent provides it. Iridescent's been throwing numbers at us all evening. First and second map alike. Almost had an angle to rip that ponytail off of Breach's head. Suddenly, there we go. Unfield comes in for the backup. Mushi holding that close corner. The Reverie is here! The cavalry has arrived! Reverie and Unfield shutting it down. 6-4. 2 more rounds in the half. Skyline, they got to get these next 2 if they want to keep it going. But even if for some reason they aren't able to capture these next 2 in 8-4 half, it's going to feel really, really eerily similar. But it wouldn't be impossible. 8-4, not impossible. 7-5, definitely not possible. But if Skyline can keep their numbers even here, heading into a tied game into the second half, they're going to have a lot easier of a time defending. But it's all about these angles that Hamster has just been. They've just been swallowing these angles, and they have been utilizing them so well so far.
Indeed so. The Reverie is actually moving up as well into that mid space. Ellie and that cross angle working off Unfield actually. You see, they're trying to catch Ellie, who's... Oh, and Ellie will unfortunately go down with that trade. So that mid control has been compromised. GG with the response in kind.
Jeez. GG has been so solid in these gunfights. I mean, really, I feel like we've only just begun to uncover the gunfight tactics from either of these teams. I mean, Hamster has just been so solid on them all night, but Skyline has been a little bit here and there. For the last couple rounds, they've definitely gone in the way of Hamster, but Reverie proving my point right there, taking down Mushi. And all of a sudden, there's a 3-on-4. Only 1 player disadvantage for Skyline. It's very doable, but not if Colby keeps that up. Snake Bite to swallow any chance that Cloudsy had of sealing the deal.
30 seconds left. 1 enemy remaining.
Goodness. Oh man, Hamster, you were talking, Multitudes, you were talking about it in that post game
Last round
at the end of Pearl here just a few moments ago. You were talking about the cohesion that Hamster has. You can see it. You can really see it. I mean, these players, they know the game, and more importantly, they know each other. And I'm not just talking about abilities. I mean, you can tell the communication is there. I mean, while Reverie's picking one angle, Colby's on the other side, peeking the other way. And just when you think that's it, Iridescent and Array come out of absolutely nowhere holding hands, holding a different angle that you didn't even know existed. I mean, Hamster Rave is on another level in terms of the cohesion in general. I mean, it's just so nice to see. But Cloudsy taking down Reverie early on.
Skyline Dreamers does have Thrash online. They had a very aggressive start. They wanted to punish that mid lurk that was Reverie. So that is the top killer from the side of Hamster Raves out of action. Has to watch by the sidelines here as they regroup, possibly for a C, targeting the other raid boss. That is Colby on their lonesome here. Starting Thrash to open things off.
Thrash misses Colby. Colby getting aggressive. It pays off in dividends. Picking up 2. Slowing down this push. Doing everything they can to buy their team time to get to site and fully negate this push. Cloudsy finally does put a stop to Colby. But Colby bought enough time for Array to get there, put down a smoke, and solidify that hold of C site. And now it's going to make Skyline think twice.
They're trying to make Hamsters think twice by attacking that B door. Right, that'll keep Unfuel on that B side, but looks like it still will be a C hit. They're exploding onto the side here, trying to make some space. Wait. No, they don't have time. From the shadows.
10 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Oh, man.
Both from the
Shadows
shadows.
to match.
Here.
Oh, man. Anything you can do, I can do better. Iridescent holding that angle beautifully. Picks up 1, but Mads is there for the trade. Unfeel looking for one of their own, but it's not going to be enough. Array, 1 versus 2. Spike down. Diffusable. Array does take down the fellow Omen. 7 bullets in a dream. Mads forced to bring out the Girthquake to force Array off of Spike. All Mads has to do is play time and make sure Array doesn't have a chance to defuse here, but 4 bullets from Array.
What's another dead?
Drops to the classic, and it's going to be a beautiful shot from the Sheriff of Mads to end off the second half. Skyline is in a significantly better position than they were just a few rounds ago. A 2-round deficit, not super comfortable, but it's going to feel a little bit better than that Pearl matchup. And Skyline brings it to a 7-5 scoreline. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it. This is still anyone's game.
It really much is. Mads being the ultimate dreamer here, playing it to perfection. We saw Skyline Dreamers drop off a little bit in the first half. Their body positioning was really off. They were doing all these one-on-ones and just letting Hamster Rave Party get away with it. But they're picking themselves back up, I think. And they want to be able to put a few more rounds here. Maybe get that pistol, steal that pistol for the first time away from Hamster Rave Party. We'll see how things go as we open it off. Hamster Rave Party opting for a 3-1-1 kind of default moves as they explore this space. Very aggressive smoke actually from that. Ooh, Reverie starts things off on Ellie, and that's A site completely out of action. So no other space has been taken. Miles wants to be able to take the fight over, but Snakebite will hold them back, and Kobe's just better with it.
Spike is planted during all that chaos down mid. A site's been seized by Skyline Dreamers here. Iridescent watching the flank. And more to your point, I think you're absolutely right. Hamster has been so solid at isolating these players into these 1vx scenarios. But that right there, Iridescent doesn't care about 1vx. He's on 1v2, takes down 1, and gets out with their life. Time is ticking. GG. Alone on site. Oh, reads! Oh my goodness, reads Array like a book. Reverie, though, takes down Cloudsy, 1 versus 2. GG is somehow still up, but finally falls to the hands of Unfeel, 8-5. Hamster starting to regain control here.
The 4th pistol round, once again, goes to Hamster Rave Party. So dominant in all these starting rounds that they are going to be able to snowball just a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 9-5. We haven't really seen Thrifties come out in any sort of these rounds, so I'm not holding my hopes up. I'm not holding my breath, in bated breath here for Skyline Dreamers to steal this away. If they can get maybe 3 rifles away from the side of Hamster Rave Party, that'd be spectacular themselves as they Ares and just wall their way through. Ellie left on the lonesome, gonna have to deal with all these players.
Oh man. Ellie, okay,
Spike
not what
down.
you want to see, but they do secure the... Oh man. Oh. Ellie, got the kill. That's the important part. But Colby,
Yeah.
Colby, no, gonna find one, but Mushi's there. The spike does get planted once again at A site. 2 versus 3. It's a 2-player retake for Skyline. It's not looking too great right now.
Mushi is in a far away distance. Guardian in hand. May want to save that actually, but Ellie's gonna have to do more economic damage here against a Bucky in the heavens.
Enemy remaining.
Gonna have to deal with Ellie. That's Ellie out of the way, and Mushi couldn't do anything more with that Guardian. Iridescent strips that away. 9-5.
Man, and there you go again, Hamster. They're so good at isolating these players into these 1vx scenarios. And they're like, hey, there's one person here. Let's just cut them off from their teammate and just dogpile them. And it seems to be working very well for Hamster here. But on the other hand, Skyline Dreamers, we know they can win these gunfights. I just feel they continuously send in one player at a time. And it's just not giving the outcome that Skyline needs it to give. I mean, it's just not what you want to see right now. But again, 4 rounds, definitely not an impossible comeback here for Skyline. But Reverie gets taken down early on. That's got to feel good for GG and company. But we got to make sure they keep up that momentum.
Very important round from the Skyline Dreamers. They need to get this, or else they'll be in the ditch once again.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, that works. We'll take that.
Take what you can get at this point. Colby around the corner. Oh my goodness. Faces 2 rifles to the forehead. Meanwhile, Unfeel gonna go ahead and get spike planted. Iridescent moving up to the front lines. Does take down Mads. Mushi finally does take down Iridescent. 1 versus 2. That Omen is very tagged up. Mushi, very little health. Unfeel unable to hit their shots. 1 wall bang did make it through, but it wasn't enough. And Skyline starting to find their footing here as my dog shakes and scratches and the collar goes shook, 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 shook in the background. Everything's fine. 9-6.
GG got quite lucky there, honestly. Just Unfeel was able to slice the pie and isolate, like you called it, right? Isolate all these 1vx's and could have gotten away with just 2 quick headshots. Mushi was down low, but fortunately, just fortunately for GG, able to pick up their 8th kill, not looking very hot as they were in that previous Pearl map. Only 8 kills to their name. Ellie and Mushi leading the charge right now for Skyline Dreamers. They're able to hold on to a majority of their guns. Matt's the only one with the Sheriff in kind. 3-round deficit right now. Like you have said time and time, it is anyone's game. So Reverie leads the charge here. It's on GG to be able to pick anything off, and they start off with a beautiful one.
Oh man.
Spike down A.
Both teams taking heavy casualties here. Mushi remaining planted on site. They've learned their lesson. If they allow Hamster to isolate them into these 1vx's, they're gonna lose. And they're starting to adapt to that, but Iridescent doesn't care about your adaptation. They're gonna go ahead and peek you anyways, bud. But a minute on the clock. Spike looking at a B site plant here for the first time in this Lotus matchup. A quick tap, possibly to bait out some lurkers, but Cloudsy and company not going to fall for it quite yet. They're going to wait for that plant to solidify. And now
Spike
it is.
planted.
Colby rounding this corner. Going to find Cloudsy completely oblivious. My goodness. Picks up 2 and 3. Iridescent, meanwhile, on site doing some work of their own. 10-6. Suddenly, Hamster Rave Party is 3 rounds away from making this a 2-0 series and a very quick night.
Honestly, Colby's wall, that Viper wall down A, allowed them to slip through stairs into the back, into the backsides, basically, of the Skyline Dreamers, and that was insane trigger discipline from the side of Colby to be able to just spot both players. Ellie actually got the flick, just not quicker than Colby, who was ready to receive both players, and Skyline Dreamers now 4 away. Hamster Rave Party looking like they are starting to really dominate the scene here, starting to snowball just a little bit, especially with that first opener from Iridescent. The Sky Fall does come out to secure themselves. All these shots left and right. Oh, it's a bit of a massacre right now.
Oh, very much so. Just a 1-player army. But unfortunately, that army got decimated, and no survivors are left. It's a flawless round for Hamster Rave Party. Now 2 rounds away from shutting this series down completely. Skyline Dreamers, they're almost at the scoreline. I mean, they're at their scoreline. 6 rounds was all they were able to pick up on Pearl. So for their sake, I really hope they have a little bit more gas left in the tank. We're going to see Ellie pull out an operator, which Chambermain, I really hope that you can hit your shots with a sniper rifle if you're playing Chamber, because that's the whole kit, right? Hit shots, headhunter, tour de force, doesn't really matter. Your whole kit is weapons. You need to be hitting your shots here. But Ellie peeking out early on, looking for a head to shoot, but my goodness, Reverie doesn't even give Ellie a chance. Not a chance. Reverie hunting, but finally does get put down by Mads. Beautiful one tap.
Spike planted.
Great paranoia to get all this space, and now Mads and Mushi try to hold back match point from the Hamsters right now as the flank comes out. Mushi left on their lonesome to be seized. Everything coming their way.
Oh, man. That Viper's Cloud, they just push right through it, and Mushi gets a rifle to the forehead. And
Match point.
ladies and gentlemen, it's match point, and it's not feeling good for Skyline Dreamers. I mean, they need to find something. They need to find... they need to solidify their holds is what they need to do right here. They have 1 round in this second half, and it's a defuse, so they've shown us that they can get through those post-plant defense lines, but they haven't done it near enough. I mean, the post-plant defense is something that Hamster is so good at, so if Skyline can really solidify their defensive holds here off the get-go, then the Hamster is not going to have a chance to get those post-plant defenses, but GG starting off very strong with a showstopper to the face of a Ray. Mads there to follow it up. Just like that, numbers advantage for Skyline.
See the power of this wall. Kobe's able to push up. Fortunately, Matt is there to receive as well. Mushi with one of the kind area that's a tour de force online. Gets 2 of their own. It's beyond unbelievable. 1-man army, as you called it. Tour de force online. 1 more bullet in hand has been heard by Cloudsy as well. Around this corner, it's pinched in from both ends. We'll see what this Chamber main can really cook.
Iridescent, 3 under the belt. 50 on the clock, spike on the back. No health lost, by the way. Still has abilities. Time is ticking. They're holding this back angle, but no one is coming from there. The problem that you have to worry about is going to be this Gecko sitting at breakable door. Iridescent's got to know that someone's going to be sitting there.
30 seconds left.
Super deep into that corner. Cloudsy holding it beautifully. Switches to the headhunter. Does make it work. 4 under the belt. 1v1. Chamber v Chamber. 1 more shot in the tour de force for Iridescent. Still, both Chambers now at full health. Spike planted. It's a 1-on-1. The Chambers are going at it. It's all about timing. It's all about equipment. It's all about hitting your shots. Both tour de forces are up. And Ellie is all that stands between Hamster and a 2-0 series. Time ticking away. A quick tap on the defuse. Oh, there we go. Iridescent with a dominant ace, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another 2 13-6 score lines in a row. Iridescent is the one this time to absolutely obliterate the competition in the final round. A 379 combat score from Iridescent, by the way. And I was very curious in the middle of this game. I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder what Iridescent's first bloods are. 9. 9 first rounds. 9 first bloods. Out of 22 rounds, Iridescent had 9 first bloods.
Absolutely amazing show of force right there from the side of Hamster Rave Party. 29 kills to Iridescent, 24 to Kobe, 21 to Reverie, just absolutely dominating that scoreboard. And what a phenomenal ending that was. Iridescent ace to bring the Hamsters over to the finish line, secure themselves a dominant 2-0 fashion against the Dreamers here from the Skyline. Here we have the stats from our Tenax producer here, Icefire, making it work and bringing us beautiful, beautiful numbers for all our lovely Valorant viewers here. We see the MVPs up
word.
on stage. Unfortunately, from the Skyline Dreamers, GG had a terrific first map, could not put in as many numbers onto this side. 4 first bloods to their name, 10 to 18. Unfortunately, Mushi leading the lead for the Dreamers. And so it was really the Hamsters raving around in their party. I'm sure the Discord server themselves that they were in, the vibes were immaculate. It got loud. It got party. I'm sure they were having a time of their lives right there as they just put round and round after. They looked like they were, a bit of a waiver this first half of Lotus, but once they got onto the second half here, once they got on their attack
side, man,
they were an unstoppable force. They really were, Mickey.
It was, I don't want to sit here and say team diff, but if we look at the numbers, it was definitely a gunfight diff. Only 2 players on Hamster went negative. Unfeel and Ray were the only 2 to go negative. Everyone on Skyline Dreamers were negative. One of them double negative. And I don't want to sit here and preach that gunfights are everything, that kills are everything, because they're not. You need to know how to play with your team. You need to know the abilities, your teammates' abilities. You need to know how to get to site, hold site, retake site. It's all about in-game. But when it comes down to it, if your team is putting up the numbers that Hamster Rave Party is right now, 29-11 from Iridescent, 24-10 from Colby. These are not the craziest numbers, but when they are consistently close to each other like this, the 3 Iridescent, Colby, and Reverie, those were your 3 the entire series. Both maps we saw, it was those 3 almost just about every round getting multi-kills, getting 3, 4 aces back to back to back. It was one of those 3 showing up every time that Hamster captured a round. Even sometimes when they didn't capture a round, it was still one of those 3 going off. And the game isn't all about the kills. It's not all about damage. But when you have 3 of your 5 players, 4 of your 5 players doing those numbers, it can very quickly spell a big old W on the board. And that's exactly what happened with Hamster Rave Party. They did just enough to absolutely dominate. If we're going to add all the rounds together, this ended up being a 26-12 series. That is just, you got to feel good if you're Hamster Rave right now, man.
100%. And that's not to, diminish any sort of achievements from Skyline. I think Skyline at their best, when they were playing as a team, when their body positioning was on point, and they were really just storming through the sites and getting all these trades back and forth. And so I think it's good for them to be able to, take the L, fine, not the best outcome you want, but a good learning opportunity for Skyline to come back, look at the VODs, figure out how they want to replay some of these rounds, how they want to. It's a very teachable moment, and I think we're still early on in the season, Mickey. A lot more Valorant games to come forth, so it's but a dream for the Skyline Dreamers right now to be able to take another one from Hamsters.
I believe in Skyline Dreamers. Like you said, there's plenty of this is only week 2. It's the 3rd week of 2025. We have so much time for Skyline to learn from these mistakes and adapt to the situations and come back a better and stronger team. But Multitudes, thank you so much for joining me on the desk. That's been Multitudes over here. I've been Sir Mickey. We've been joined by Ice Fireeye on the production observation side of things. Thank you so much to Twitch chat. Thank you so much to Harmony Esports for presenting this, for helping us put on this insane production. Thank you so much for all the teams so far, all 6 teams that have showed up this far in the season. Thank you to Hamster Rave Party. Congratulations on the victory tonight. Thank you to Skyline Dreamers for participating. You guys were fun to watch. As always, stay safe, have a great night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with some more Valorant action.
Kufiku.